he's going to cover an application of ours to do with importing 3D model data, and specifically how that automatically creates balloons and the 2D views and captures, and with that the associated import of CMM results. So hopefully you can all see the slide there, just for the introduction. Any questions that you have, if you'd kindly use the messaging that you'll see on your control panel, it's underneath questions, and towards the end we'll do our best to try and answer any questions that have been raised. So 30 minutes we're hoping this webinar takes. Just after this introduction, Carl will be 20 minutes, and then we'll finish it off with slides at the end and questions that we'll try and answer that have been raised. So sit back, enjoy, get a flavour for what we're showing you here, and any interest, you're more than welcome. We encourage you to contact us via the web page, or if you know our specific contact names and details, please do so. So without further ado, let me hand you over to Carl Andrews, who will carry out this presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. Morning, good afternoon, everybody. So what I'm going to go and do first is just now go to our VIPI platform and start the demonstration. So most people will be familiar with it, with this view. Those that use the software certainly will, the main repository. And I'm going to go and start to create a part that we can then bring in all the 3D data. So first of all, I'm just going to go and add a part with a particular report style, and the report style being very important, where we can handle different customer requirements, different industry requirements, not just from a first article process within the aerospace industry, but also think about PPAP in automotive, first article process within the oil and gas market. So the process that we go through today will be standardized within your business. The outputs for all your customers could be very, very different. So just create myself a part to start with. Now for this demo, I'm going to go in through our Visual APQP application, basically Advanced Product Quality Planning. People might know it as a new product introduction. It's just the ability to create a structured process, a number of gates or elements that you might go through within your organization. And I've set those 4 up for today's demonstration, all about bringing in that 3D model, creating the 2D images, and so on and so forth. So first of all, simple thing of when is it due for delivery, and obviously based on the lead times, things are going to go in applicable color code. So first of all, we want to go and review that 3D model and create those 2D views. So simply I'm going to go and take action to it, and then I'm going to go and run our Visual MBD model-based definition software. While that's opening up, before I go into that, I just want to go and actually open up the 3D engine that's behind our software. It's a product called CapVideo. It's an important step that I want to show you, because we can bring in any model format. So very, very key across the various supply chains and manufacturing sectors, that we can handle any model format, not just particular to one. An important thing here is that you also don't need to have a Catia seat, for example, or a SolidWorks seat. We can bring that data in that sort of native format, and you'll see what we're going to go and do shortly. I'm just going to go and open up an industry standard part. It's actually a Pro Engineer part, just so we can see that model before we go and bring it in to the software and automatically create all the drawing characteristics. So you can see the part in question, the 3D part. You can see all of the annotations, the general dimensions and tolerancing that are on there. The important thing with the model, and some of you may be aware, what's known as semantically linked data, or PMI. Basically the manufacturing information is structured within the model, and this being the case, any model that we bring in, we will be able to do something with it from an automatic ballooning. So back to the MBD software, I'm going to bring in that same model. Here I've got a number of options. So within industry, people that are using 3D software today, some people are creating those 2D views within that model environment and then using those 2D views further within their manufacturing process. So here we've got the option to bring in those existing views that you've already created. So again, using information that your designers or your manufacturing engineers have already defined, and we're going to use that as part of the process. I'm actually going to go and automatically generate a number of views from that 3D model. So simply go and open and go and find the part in question, and the same part, the .prt Pro Engineer file. So what's happening now is we're bringing in the model, and it's automatically creating the minimum number of 2D views to represent all of the general dimensions and tolerancing on the image. So hopefully you can just see that now. I've got 1 image, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Importantly, I also get the model name. I know that in a lot of OEM quality manuals, the file naming of models is very key. Maintaining that history is very key. So where that model's come from, maintaining that history is as utmost importance. So I've got 7 views. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to go and simply bring those that data now into the software. So I've brought that data into the software. It's ready to consume by other applications, and OK that. So back to review my model. I've done that. I'm going to say that it's complete. I'm going to go into my next step that I've set up, my first article preparation. So I'm going to go and take action again. And for this, we're using our application Visual Fair. So first article inspection reports. I've opened up Visual Fair. The 2D images that we've just created are automatically brought in. Balloon sizes, balloon shapes, balloon colors. You can change those to your heart's content. So we've got all those images brought into the software. So people that have been using the software before, it's a manual process to create each of those unique identifiers from a ballooning point of view. So I'm going to prepare my first article. I need my documentation. Well, I'm going to go and bring in some documentation. And we've got, gosh, close to 2,000 different forms now in our library. I'm going to bring in AS9102, first article documentation. So that's those 3 documents. I'm also going to bring in a medical document or initial sample inspection report, just to give everybody a sort of a flavour of the different documentation that we can populate. And I'm going to bring in an oil and gas form as well. So just covering a number of different sectors from people that are on the audience today. And OK that. So the data from the model, we've brought it in obviously, and it's gone into any documentation that now needs to consume that. So this form here, it's my dimensional, it's my form 3 from a first article within the aerospace industry point of view. I just like everything on one page. So straight away we've brought all those requirements in. You can see that we know which sheet those features are on. We don't know the reference location. My initial sample inspection report, again, we know what sheet all of the dimensions are on, but we don't know the reference locations, and for the few seconds that will take, I will create those in a moment. And then again, just another inspection report that will handle multiple sets of results as well. So something very simple, very quick to generate here. So these 2D views, often are used further in our manufacturing process, and being able to assign a grid pattern for the seconds it takes just speeds up then finding that information further on down the line. So I'm just going to go and create those, copy them across all my existing sheets. So we can see that we've created a grid pattern on there, and now when I go to my documentation, we can see that those reference locations are all put on there. So in that sense now, I've prepared all my dimensionals as part of my first article process. I'm happy with that. I'm just going to save what we've done so far. So we've now got our 2D drawings from that 3D model. We've prepared that first article. We're sort of into our manufacturing process. And how are we going to go and measure that component once it's within the manufacturing process? So for this, I'm going to go and bring in some results from our CMM machine. So again, I want to bring those results in. I'm going to go and take action. And for this, we go and use our Visual CMM application. So any machine readable format from your CMM in the form of an Excel file, a text file, a CSV file. So against this particular element, I've also got another form of dimensional report associated with it. And again, all that data has come straight through into here with all the zones. So let's go and bring in some measurement data. So my Visual CMM application, go and launch the CMM application. And then I'm going to go and find the file that we need to go and bring in. So CMM parser, as we call it. Obviously, outputs from CMM machines can be very different. And the people that are programming your CMM will program the CMM in exactly the same way they do today. We've just created the balloon drawing with its unique characteristic references with the balloon numbers. So your CMM programmer will, in a spare field that they will have in a column or a heading, they'll annotate that balloon reference number into the CMM program, and then that's what we match up, the balloon reference number within the CMM program versus the balloon reference number that we've just created with the 3D model. So I'm going to bring in my first set of results. In this case, part number 1. Obviously, color coding, it's prevalent throughout the software, so powerful. We can make very quick decisions, very quick review process with those color codes. And obviously here, green, in tolerance, red, out of tolerance, and I'm going to go and bring those results into the software, simply import. So whether there's 1 or 1,000 sets of results, it's literally those few seconds to bring those results in. And first article, obviously, typically is about my first set of results, but from different industries, it's about being able to simply collect our data against that batch of components so that we can perform some kind of analysis or demonstrate that we have dimensional records against all of our parts. So I'm going to bring in the second component. And again, obviously green and red, and 1 result out of tolerance, and bring those results in. You do have the functionality to overwrite an existing set of results, but here I want to add it as my next set of results. So every single feature, add it as my next set of results. And again, I'm going to go and bring in a third and final set of results. And again, green and red, and bring those results in again for my third and final set of results. So now that I've brought those results in, any documentation, any dimensional reports that need that will go and update the documentation. So my fourth element here, I've chosen AS9102 first article, so an aerospace first article. I'm going to go and take action to it back into the first article software with all the documents and the 2D drawings that we created earlier. So now into my form 3, my first set of results, we can see that the results have come into the software there, both obviously green and red. My initial sample inspection report, commonly used within the medical manufacturing market. And obviously then my typical oil and gas form. So 3 sets of results, but also continuing to bring those results in as part of the process. You're inspecting it as part of the process. This particular document then starts to calculate my CP/CPK values, my standard deviation, my average across all of that. But obviously, typically, until we've got 25, 30 sets of results, we haven't got a suitable sample size. And again, just save what I've done there. So what we've just covered there in sort of the space of 10 minutes, we've obviously brought in that 3D model with all the general dimensions and tolerancing, automatically created all of the identified the balloon reference numbers, and then we've gone and brought in our measurement data against it within that short space of time. So I've just saved that, I've just closed what I've done there. I'm updating those particular steps within my business to say that things are or aren't complete or are work in progress, and again I'm just going to go and save what I've done. So against that part I've got an overall status of what I go through within my business, within my organisation. So just to sort of reiterate the few things that we have covered. Key thing with our model-based definition application, we can open any model format, and it's absolutely key to be able to do that. We're not restricted to one type of format. We applied all of the dimensions from the information within the model, all the general dimension tolerance. If there was any notes in that model, then they would have come through as well. Self-explanatory, automatically apply. And then PCD, Miss Calypso, MC Cosmos, Cosmos. Predominantly the vast majority of the reports that we've done are from those software off those CMMs, but it's any machine readable output. So in the form of an Excel file, a CSV file, a text file, then we would be able to do something with the results coming back into the software. You know, visual controls, I'm sure we've all got them within our business, but absolutely paramount in anything we do. You saw how quick all those results came in. And it's not just for a particular sector. So there was a whole difference of different forms there. The key thing is the process within your business becomes standardized no matter who the customer is, no matter what the output's going to be. And ultimately, I'm sure some of you know that a very professional quality report is created at the end. So thank you very much for that. I'm just going to hand back over to Greg Oldham. He will have been looking for any questions coming in throughout of that. And yeah, look forward to hearing from you very soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Carl, for that. It was a nice presentation there. Just to conclude, our last slide here. If you want any further information on the products that you've seen, just get in touch with us either via the web page of ours, and you'll find the contacts, or if you know us and our email addresses, please drop us a line. So, questions. Let me just open up the questions. So one there, is it possible to trial visual MBD? So I guess that was that obviously came in during the presentation. It is possible, as I mentioned there on this slide. If you take note of the details there, you will do. Question, not really sure that's a question, but thank you very much anyway. A really good webinar, great product. Well, we hope so. We like to think so. You will benefit from that, especially if you've got 3D models to interrogate and take. Just a little bit of history behind the product. You've obviously, if you're familiar with Visual Fair, that demonstrated savings of up to 75% in time from your original manual process of taking a piece of paper, drawing and capturing the requirements and placing it onto your dimensional forms. this product with the model-based definition and taking those out, I think you can see how quickly it can be done. We're seeing just in ourselves using it, 60 to 70% in time savings from the Visual Fair product to Visual MBD. So there truly is an immense benefit there in terms of time. And obviously in today's engineering environment, you've got a lot of build programs from the upper tier OEMs doing away with the standard drawing and asking suppliers to use models. So this is where this product really fits into its own. Question, how do we scroll down these? More questions coming in. It's just Happy New Year, gents. Hope all was good for y'all. Yeah, we like that. Thank you. If not all the measurements are contained within the model, can you add measurements? Carl?
Sorry. Yeah, Greg just obviously asked that question that somebody had asked. Great question, because I'm sure you receive models that have no GD&T in them whatsoever. Yes, you can add GD&T into that model environment in the first instance. Obviously, you need to know what the dimensions and tolerances are to be able to manufacture the product. So yes, you can.
We've got one here. Hello, do you provide the CMM parsers?
Yes, we do provide the CMM parsers as part of the purchase of the CMM application. So the process is that we take the output from your CMM. We will have a conversation more often than not about it, understand the format of it, and then we'll create that parser. It may be that it is a generic parser. More often than not, it will be titled with the name of your company, and maybe your CMM number, so you know which one it's specific to.
How can we learn more about the general IPI if we already use the software?
Obviously, great question. Thank you for joining today, because obviously that's one start. You've learned something about another product. The general products, make contact with us. There's no harm in us going through a WebEx with you if it's particular areas. It might be something related to just training and awareness, but more often than not, a WebEx resolves most of people's questions. And thanks for the questions, by the way, everybody. There's a good number of questions that have come through now, and I think what we will do, we've got a couple of minutes, so we can answer a few more. I'm just thinking of everybody for time and what we said this. We can obviously take all these questions and then formulate the answers and obviously circulate them to everybody that's been on the WebEx today as well.
How do we obtain information on application updates as we receive the new software?
So again, just make contact with your normal points of contact at IPI Solutions, and any new applications that you have taken. Obviously, there's training that we deliver for that, and any new updates that there may have been. And I'm just thinking of our latest first article application with the latest OCR. Then again, those will get made aware to you when you take the updates.
What about results from a Vertex laser scanner? Would you guys handle that and send me a post, or would I be able to teach the software where to look?
So the same way we handle that, again, in that basically it's a programmable scanner that you'll output the results. You may be outputting the results already in some shape or form. Put them into that specific format of an Excel file, a CSV file, text file, and we will be able to do something with those results to parse them back into the software.
And could you just explain the word parser. It's been misunderstood as parsing.
Okay, apologies for that. So parser, it's our terminology for the specific report for your format to be able to read the output from your CMM machines.
There's one there. Will the visual CMM result import work with data from a GOM? If the
I think we could, yeah. Don't know what the GOM is, but on that one, obviously we've got the person's name, and we can come back to you directly with that, and then if it's applicable. So guys, I know we've just gone past the sort of 30-minute mark. There's a couple more questions, as I say, on there. Thank you very much for them. It's been really good. Probably had more questions than we've ever had from a WebEx, so appreciate that. It's all about the feedback. So we will put a list together of all those questions, and certainly over the coming days we will circulate that to everybody that's been on the WebEx today. Once again, from myself, Carl, Andrews, pleasure that everybody, we've had so many people attend, and yeah, watch out, as Greg said, for the coming webinars over the follow-on months.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everybody. Take care. Have a good day.